Hello, everybody. It's been a very long 2 years, but I'm back with another long-awaited tutorial. Today, I'm going to be teaching everybody how to edit a head in Blender. The head that I will be using is by Nessie. It's the head called the Amor head. You can find it on her store at nessie.store. A more store head mesh. This is the head. It comes with a lot of shape keys. It's perfect for you VTubers out there, as it has all 52 AR kit shape keys, along with other shape keys that make it easy for you guys to use for your face tracking, whether it be VR chat face tracking or AR kit face tracking. All of the blend shape details will be highlighted on her page. Once you have your Blender open, I'm using version Blender 4.4.3. This is just, I think, the latest version of Blender since I had to re-download it. But first, the first order of business anytime you're doing anything in Blender is to delete the camera, cube, and light. So you can highlight all three of them here, and then you can delete them by right-clicking. When you want to import your head to do your head edit, I recommend doing your head edit separate from doing a model. That way you have just a clean baseline of your head. That way you don't have to, when you want to add the head on other models that you create, you don't have to import the model and take the head off of it, stuff like that. You should keep it strictly just the head for your head edit. To import the head, you're going to want to click File, go all the way down to Import, and import your FBX. Alright, so after you import the head into Blender, it's going to look a little weird. I mean, everything when you import it into Blender is going to look a little weird, but we've got our little egg here. If you want to see the head with all of the materials on it while you edit it, which is what I personally prefer, just so I can have like a baseline of what the head is going to look like when I'm done with it. So you're going to want to press Z and then do material preview. And here we see the head. The neck doesn't have the texture on it yet, which we don't really need it all that much. I'm going to hide this because we're strictly editing the head for this video. So before we do anything, editing wise, we want to make sure that all of our textures are on our head. If your textures didn't automatically import to your head when you imported it, you'll hit this little circle guy down here at the bottom, the little red material circle, and then you'll hit this drop down arrow, and all of your textures except for metal will be image textures. So if it says just base color or it's just an RGB, you'll want to do image texture and then import your image texture from the file that you downloaded when you bought your head. Alright, so for editing a head, we're going to go ahead and hide that armature. We don't need it right now. We're going to click the head and we're going to go into edit mode. So when you edit a head, the one thing that I don't want to do is warp the eyes. When you edit a head, a lot of people will warp the eyes. We don't want to do that. So we're going to select our eyes. You want to hover over the eye meshes and click L, and it will select all of the vertices that are connected to the eyes. Now we're going to go inside of her head and we're going to select these little cone looking cylindrical things here too, because these are the back of her eyes. Now that we have that selected, I'm going to separate by selection. You'll want to right click and then separate by selection. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go back to object mode. We're going to click this little drop down and it'll say body 001. This is your eyes. we're gonna just hide the, well, not hide them, but now that you know that they're separated, we won't have to worry about warping them. This is the mesh that we'll be editing. So when you edit, I typically edit with the sculpt mode. Some people might not, but this is how I'm gonna do it in this video. I use the grab tool most of the time. The grab tool is my best buddy. All right. So if you want to make the basics of the sculpting tools, if you want to make it bigger, yeah, F to make it bigger. You know, as big as you need it. Sometimes when you make it bigger, it'll cover more space when you're editing the head. You want to make it smaller, it'll be good for editing stuff like around the eyes, the nose, the mouth, stuff like that. You always want to keep it on the x-axis because the head is symmetrical. Most VR chat heads are going to be very symmetrical, if not completely symmetrical. And you want to keep your edit symmetrical, that way you don't have to do everything twice, and that way it will look the same on both sides. So for this demonstration, I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to make her nose a little smaller, and I'm gonna give her a little bridge. And then I'm going to make her lips a little smaller, a little bit of a different shape, and then we'll do something with the eyes. That way we just cover each aspect of the head. I don't recommend editing the eyebrows of this particular head because there are shape keys that will do that for you. There's a lot of shape keys that will edit the eyelashes for you, the eyebrows, and it will also keep these piercings and stuff intact. So just be aware of what shape keys are already on the head. That way you don't mess with anything that was there prior to you editing the head. So I think I'll start with her nose. Like I said, I'm going to make her nose a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to give her a little bit of a bigger bridge. Give her one of those, I don't know, maybe a Greek type of nose. Just something a little bit more unique compared to most VR chat avatars. So now I'm going to move on to her mouth, and I'm going to save the eyes for last. She looks a little bit more pouty like this. I like it. So now that we've edited her mouth a little bit and her nose, now I'm gonna go on to the eyes. That's really all it is. When somebody says it's a head edit, it's usually just a different sculpt version of an existing head. Alright. I like the arched eyebrows. I love me some arched eyebrows. So to check what we're working with, I like to use this y-axis thing right here so I can see kind of how the head looks head on. After you get done editing a head, you're gonna be like, okay, well, Zimmy, how do I reattach her eyes to her head? We're gonna click the eyes and then control click body. So now that we have both selected, we're going to join them back together. We right click and join. So now the eyes are now a part of the head again. Alright, so the easiest way to make sure that your eyes are still weighted to your head is to go to over here to cats and start pose mode. Alright, so you're like, okay, well I can't see the eye bones. Click this little x-ray tool up here with the two squares. And these right here should be your eye bones. You can now click the square again, that way you can see better. and you can move the little bone around, make her look around, stuff like that. So our eyes are still weighted to our head, and they do not clip through our head. They are still as they should be. Now I'm gonna check the right eye, the left eye, because you want both of your eyes to work, and you want to be 100% sure of it. Once you do all of that, and you make sure everything still works, you can go up here to File, Export FBX, and you're gonna want to make sure that you put it into a folder that you will be able to find it in, because this is your personal head edit of a head. Just because you edit a head doesn't mean that you can resell the head because you didn't make the head type thing. This is editing heads for personal use only, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's how you edit a head.